Visit goldenerabookworm.wixsite.com/website for courses from the Bronze and Silver era of bodybuilding. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to continue talking about the development of thick and powerful forearms using old school techniques. And I'm going to use a really good example today, which is my friend and collaborator, and whom I consider an expert in training the forearms and the neck, which is another matter. And this is Tom Cunningham. Now, I recently announced a collaborative project with Tom in a previous video on Chuck Sipes' secret wrist curl. And regarding the book we are actually about to start writing together, which is on the development of thick and powerful forearms. Now, the reason I'm so excited about this project is because I really believe that developing the forearms are truly an old school secret to developing an overall strong and large and massive upper body. So today I'm going to introduce Tom and his methods of training in much more detail, and also talk about the book that we are going to write. And I hope you really find this video informative and interesting. Now, in my previous video, I introduced Tom Cunningham, who at 5'8", 180 pounds and 27 years old, has managed to develop his wrists to over 8.5, almost stretching the tape at 9 inches, and having 16-inch forearms flexed or 15 inches relaxed naturally. Now, this caused a bit of a ruckus in the comments, and people, shouting fake and all this nonsense. So I contacted Tom to actually provide tape measurements of his wrist and forearm for you haters and doubters to actually shut your mouths, basically. Now, I will not deny that the man is not genetically gifted. I mean, he's absolutely genetically gifted. I mean, Tom himself has stated that he is a genetic freak, that for example, at 15 years of age he had already 7-inch wrists. I mean, I wish I had those genetics. And that he has unusually well inserted flexor carpes that insert into his wrists, and this is why he was able to develop his wrist to almost 9 inches. I mean, even at 15 years of age, he already had 14-inch forearms. That's insane. I mean, mine are only 11, or 11 or 12. And although I haven't specifically trained my forearms and really specialized in them like Tom has, it obviously helps to have great genetics. I mean, another thing that Tom has talked about is how short his arms are and how his whole family is thick-boned. And I mean, combine that, great genetics, with manual labor, once again, similar to Sergio Oliva, manual labor, which he that's what he does for his life. And yeah, I mean, combine those two, hard work with great genetics, and you're going to end up with a massive, powerful body. In his case, he doesn't specialize necessarily in bodybuilding, but he does specialize in neck and forearm training. And the exercises of his choice are, of course, old school exercises, which are known to benefit natural lifters. So here is another great shot of Tom Cunningham, showing his flexed 16-inch forearms for those that are crying fake. I hope you now can, wipe your tears away, okay? Now, Tom's methods of training, as I mentioned, are the old school methods, all the way from the Bronze era, Silver era, and even Strongman era, by the way, as well as the Golden era of bodybuilding. All these techniques he has incorporated. I mean, this guy is obsessed with training his forearms as well as his neck. And so he's listed several methods which he uses, including rope climbing, sledgehammer work and leverage work, towel chin-ups. All these exercises, and really they are also, in a way, feats of strength, require incredible grip power, which already work your tendons and ligaments, especially around the wrist, which can be easily damaged. Besides that, of course, besides working the tendons and ligaments and the grip, he focuses on lots of free weights, using free weight exercises. And we're talking heavy rows, heavy deadlifts, both combining the single and two arm varieties. Now, single arm lifting was a real favorite of the strongmen of the Bronze era. And of course, once the barbell was invented, the two-arm variations also became popular. So he uses free weight rows and deadlifts, both in the single and two-arm varieties, using dumbbells and barbells. Again, real old-school training, not using any machines. So far, from what I understand, he barely uses any machine whatsoever. It's just free weights mostly, and grabbing uncomfortable things. If it's not hard, it's not going to make a difference. It's as simple as that. If you're using a machine, well, yeah, good luck. He also recommends using all kinds of varieties of curls. So I haven't shown a picture, but his upper arms flexed are over 17 inches as well. An excellent achievement for a natural bodybuilder. And yeah, if you don't believe me, I can show you a photo next time. His main exercises he uses are wrist curls, all forms, reverse curls, and heavy hammer curls. So as you can see, the list of exercises are all very reflective of old school legendary methods that work for us natural lifters. So after discussing with Tom, because I was very interested in learning more about forearm training myself, I mean, I know quite a bit about it, but Tom is a living example of what can truly be achieved if you've got, of course, great genetics, but you also specialize. I mean, he's been specializing since he was a teenager. So we're talking, a good decade and a half of specialization. And yes, it takes that long. If you're not willing to put in the work and the years, forget it. If you want to inject yourself, of course you'll transform yourself in a few months, but then you'll deflate just as quickly like a balloon. So the legends that we will be actually incorporating in the book that we are about to write include, for example, strongman George F. Jowett from the Bronze era. We are talking about men like Harold Ansorge. We are talking about legendary icons from the Bronze era. If we now move to the Silver era, John Grimmick, as shown here, doing wrist rolling. Ed Theriault, Alan Steffen, Mr. America. These guys used to handle incredible poundages in their deadlifts and curls. And so this is where this information is derived from, some of which I have already covered on my channel. If we now move to the golden era, that is Bill Pearl, Larry Scott, who's shown here performing wrist curls on the forearm bench, and even Sergio Oliva. These are all the legends that will be covering their methods, their techniques, their principles for developing the forearms. So I've had several conversations with Tom about all this kind of stuff, and we are very excited to start putting the book together now that we've amassed an enormous amount of information on the topic of developing thick and massive and powerful forearms. Now, one of Tom's favorite curls for developing the actual forearm is the Chuck Sipes wrist curl, which I covered in a previous video, and I'll briefly state again. It was taught to Dave Draper by Chuck Sipes, and it is a basic variation of the dumbbell wrist curl where you lay your forearm on the thigh, and using a dumbbell you twist your torso down so that the elbow of the arm that you are training is actually facing the opposite armpit, and as mentioned before, the forearm gets seriously pumped and the musculature gets seriously developed. And soon after I made this video, Tom decided to actually do an excellent demonstration, which is in the next slide. So Tom has actually started his own YouTube channel called Old School, where he demonstrates forearm and neck exercises that he actually uses himself and recommends. So let's have a look at the Chuck Sipes curl.
Bar that maximises the exercise even more, and I'll just demonstrate with a dumbbell that I like to use how to do it correctly. Okay, so as I said before, you place your forearm on the bench, okay, and I'm leaning right forward, putting as much pressure down through that forearm as I can. I take my shoulder off to the side, okay. From this position I can now focus on squeezing with that little finger, with the ring finger, as I perform those curls. Okay.
So there you go. Now, just to finish off, I'd like to simply state that the reason I'm promoting Tom Cunningham is simply because I find that he's the real deal when it comes to forearm and neck training. I mean, check it out. He's got a over 20-inch neck. The guy's a beast, and I mean, I'm pretty sure if he was a bodybuilder, he would go very, very far. But he only focuses on forearm and neck specialization, and this is why I'm so excited to collaborate with him, and I'm very excited to start writing this book with him, which will soon be available. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm, and please also check out Tom Cunningham's YouTube channel called Old School. Leave me a comment, and again, thank you for watching. If you wish to support my channel, you can donate via PayPal, as some of you have already done. Thank you so much. You can become a Patreon, where you have a library of photos, articles, and hard to find books online on my Patreon account, www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm. If you'd like to purchase bronze and silver era courses that are quite rare and hard to find, you can find them on my website, goldenerabookworm.wixsite.com/website. That's it for me, Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding.
Hi everybody, I just want to recommend this phenomenal book, Vince's Secret Locker, volume number 2 by Carl Coyne. I've been looking at this for about 4 weeks and I can't put it down. If you get a chance, check it out. He also has a part 1 that I highly recommend also. Vince was the trainer to the stars and had an amazing, interesting gym that today there's still not equipment like it around. It was all made out of wood. He'll be on our radio show coming up probably in the next couple weeks or so. Have a great day, and again, highly recommend this book.